In many of the talks that Wayne Dyer gave on public television, he recounts the story of how his teacher was once asked, "What is real?" Well, his answer was, anything that does not change is real, which means that anything that changes isn't real. This is one of my favorite things to contemplate, because in essence, there are things about our body that do and do not change. There are things about our mind that do and do not change. So, when we start to apply this, what is real, we can start to apply where it is important. And that's what I want to talk about today. First of all, welcome to another video. I'm Ann Blackwood, your Silicon Valley Sage Sister, here to bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler. So, you can change anything about your life. Truly, whether it's real or not. You can change anything about your life. And really, if you look at it, the things that you can and cannot control are how we like to differentiate between what we should and should not focus on. And so in that sense, you can also use that to think about, okay, what changes, what can change, what doesn't, what can I control, what can't I control? And if there's one thing we can control, it's our thoughts. That, out of anything in our life, is actually something we can change. One of my favorite things that Wayne Dyer says, and I figure, I'm never going to try to pass these things off as my own, as I've seen others do, because I'm telling you all so often that I love Wayne Dyer. I listen to him all the time. I listen to his PBS specials all the time. And so if you go and listen to them yourselves, you're going to know that's where I got it from. So might as well tell you. Wayne Dyer tells this, has this part of his talk where he talks about how, what do you get out of an orange? What do you get out of an orange? Orange juice. And he relates this to, what do you get out of anything when you squeeze it? What's inside? So what comes out of you when you're squeezed, in that sense, in that metaphor, is what's inside. Like squeezing an orange. He gives the examples of, does it matter if your mom does it? No. Your mom squeezes an orange juice comes out. Does it matter if your kid does it? No. Your kid squeezes an orange juice comes out. He says, does it matter if you're on your period? Does it matter, this? Does it matter that? He gives all these examples. And no, it doesn't matter, because if you squeeze an orange juice comes out. When we are squeezed, what comes out is what's inside. So this is always one of my favorites, because it reminds me of how you choose how you feel based on your thoughts. Even if it doesn't come naturally to us at first, to choose again when it comes to our thoughts. We get to choose what we think about. We get to choose how we feel. Something that I posted about on Instagram today was a Wayne Dyer quote, of course, that says the world does not have stress in it, only people with stressful thoughts. Because when it comes down to it, the way we feel is dictated by our thoughts. So, if we want to change our thoughts, how do we do this? Well, it's like anything. How do you build anything? Practice. And it all starts with the belief that you can. The belief that you can build it. You can do it. Whatever it might be. Even if it's just a matter of believing that you can change your thoughts. But I'm here to tell you, you can. You can absolutely change your thoughts. It just requires choosing again. And then you'll see as you do this, as you see a thought come up, because that's what you have to do to practice, is you have to first notice the thoughts that you don't want. Because if you're not noticing this thought come up, then you can't throw in a pattern interrupter to change it. So you have to change the thought by noticing the thought. When you notice the thought, stop yourself. That is the pattern interrupter, just stopping yourself when you notice the thought. And then choosing a thought instead that better serves you. So, a great example of this would be the thought comes up, I'm broke. You go, oh, that's not what I want to put out into the world. I just talked about how powerful invoking our divinity is when we say I am and then put something behind it, like I am broke. You don't want to put that out into the world. I don't want to put that out into the world. I can say it right here and right now because it's not something I believe. So I can give it as an example. But when you believe it and say it, that's putting that vibration out into the universe. So you see the thought, I am broke, come up and you go, oh, that's not what I want to put out into the universe. You say, I am wealthy. I am abundant. You notice the thought, oh, I am broke. Oh, that's a thought. By noticing it, you immediately throw in that pattern, that noticing it is the pattern interrupter. And then you choose again, I am wealthy. And you can say it out loud or you can just think it in your head. And then you're going to do this more and more often. You're going to catch yourself faster and faster with the feelings, with the thoughts. The thoughts are easier to catch because they're narrated in our heads. When they're feelings, they're not narrated in our heads. So those can take a little bit longer time to recognize at first. But you'll start to notice, as you catch your thoughts, you'll start to notice catching your feelings. And then you can replace your feelings. And slowly but surely, if you replace them with something that you actually believe, because that's the trick. You have to actually believe what you're replacing it with. And you might not start out believing it, but it's better than nothing. But if you really want this to work, if you can't think of anything else, just replace it to begin with, but then start thinking about what can I believe that's contradictory to this thought I don't want to have? What can make it true? So if I'm thinking, oh, I'm broke, and I want to be thinking I am wealthy, you've got to come up with other ways in which you're wealthy other than just money. And so that way you can believe when you say I'm wealthy that it's true. Because yeah, you might not have a lot of money right now, but otherwise I'm wealthy, I'm abundant. And so you can say that with confidence. And then slowly but surely, you will start to notice it, recognize it, see it, believe it. But you have to believe it first before you're going to see it. I know there's lots of people who say, oh, see it to believe it. That's not how this works. It works the exact opposite, actually. You've got to believe it in order to see it. And in order to believe it, you have to change your thoughts. Thank you guys for joining me for another video. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description. That includes working with me one-on-one. I have 3 spots left for that. There are links in the description, including signing up and getting more information on the session packages that I have available, all in one link. You can also always email me if you have any questions, or throw some questions in the comments here. Patreon. I have Patreon, which has all of these self-study, guided meditations, journal exercises, my spirituality and my Spirituality 101 and 2.0 series, my intuitive lifestyle course, workshop replays, and more. I have the link to dōTERRA, which is your one-stop shop for all of your natural living needs. If you want to get rid of all of those synthetic chemicals in your life and replace them with literally the best, purest, plant-based products. doTERRA. doTERRA is where you want to get them. I pretty much replaced all but a couple of things in my life with doTERRA products. And that's just because I'm waiting to use up the other of what I had before I replace them. So as to not waste things. Doing my part for the world by being a little less wasteful, one thing at a time. But yeah, I am actively have pretty much replaced everything in my life with doTERRA products, because they're literally the best when it comes to natural living products. Other links in the description, like my email list. If you want to get in on any of the free things that I do, you got to be signed up for my email list. And as always, may the energies you serve you well, and let's keep making our way through.